Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. So I don't want to take a long time in this one, but gentlemen, one of the reasons I talk largely about what the sisters are doing is because, naturally speaking, women are important to men and vice versa. Naturally speaking, you live in an unnatural situation. And I want to harp on this a lot, and I hump on this point a lot because many of us have never grown up in a normal, natural situation with the opposite gender. And so it's not as simple as you meet a good match, y'all pair bond, you start a family. Or if you're polygynous, you meet more than one good match and pair bond and start families. It's not like that. It's more like the one that would have otherwise been a good match because she grew up socialized the same way now becomes no good match. And you, if you have any sense, you don't have even a temporarily good match. You're not even anyone's type for right now. You're neither Mr. Right nor Mr. Right now. And as a matter of fact, because you are Mr. Right in general, you're never going to be Mr. Right now in her eyes. That's what you grew up with. So that's why I talk about this a lot. This is not a normal situation. So you have to adapt to an unnatural situation. It's not really much different than being in prison, except you're in an open air prison. In terms of being locked away from the opposite gender, you're pretty much in a prison. It's just an open air prison, and you're allowed to get a passport and fly out when you get enough resources. That's what it's like, really. So what I wanted to point out to you today is another thing that I want those of you who do have the ability to tell younger men and even minors, juveniles, is that there are only two ways that the majority of them are ever going to be perceived by women, by girls and later by women. You are either going to be perceived, and we've grown through this, but I want these young guys to know early on, starting off. If you know someone that is as young as elementary school, let them know before they hit middle school. This is something they need to know. We know, but didn't think about it. Now, I'm articulating it so that they'll know. Because you're going to tell them, right? There are only two ways that these women are going to perceive us and these younger men coming up. Either very stupid, naive, dumb, dull, boring but easy to use and take advantage of, or insecure. There are no other ways for the men to be perceived by these ladies or these little girls unless they're just visually that super select guy with all the genetic currency. There is no other way except those two for the vast majority of boys and men. All that's going to happen, nothing else but this, is that if that young man knows the games that they're trying to play and he does not go for these games, he knows why she wants to wear bikinis out in public and she takes selfies in the bathroom wearing nothing but bikinis while they're in a relationship. He knows that if he calls that out, she's going to label him insecure. And that if he doesn't say anything, she's going to assume that he's dumb. She will have no respect for him, or she will assume that he's a coward. He's not really a man, and he has no sense of his own honor, and that he's there to be used and taken advantage of. She will not be able to perceive him as being simply a reasonable, real man who does not take care of women so that they can turn around and advertise what should only be between them to the rest of the world. And those are the only two ways she can perceive him. These guys need to know this, and you need to go and tell them this. I really hope this helps, but this is necessary. Otherwise, I wouldn't, if these things weren't going to help, I wouldn't talk about this as much. Thank you for listening. Black heart, black mind, blackout, assalamu alaikum. And as always, black, heterosexual, non-select, male power just because they don't like it, and black patriarchy until extinction or judgment day.